All right, we are live. Oh my God, I'm so excited about this section. And y'all, guess what? This time, I got music. I got music this time. So happy to be in this space. We're so happy to have you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this evening. Is this evening? This is definitely very much evening. This has been a crazy day, y'all. It feels very much like a Thursday, and I know it's only Tuesday. But so excited to have this conversation tonight, y'all. So excited to have my brother from another mother, Roshaun Bowens, joining me tonight. Um, we're gonna give y'all a minute to send this link out to folks. Invite all your people, tell them to get the drink of choice. Um, and join us. Y'all know I always got my good mug. I love meetings about meetings. And there's something on the bottom about meetings. We all are tired of useless meetings, but this one ain't useless. So tell your people to join us. And I got music today. Happy Black History Month, y'all. We are still celebrating all month long, all month strong. Hey, Sonia, checking in from Atlanta. Um, yeah, so send this link to your people. We're about to have a really good conversation just about career journeys and transition and change and just growth and just the journey of out here being Black in America. And then talking about Black men's mental health. So if you have some men in your life that you are loving on, have these men tune into this conversation about the mental health of Black men. I think if any of you are on social media, you see lots of conversation around supporting Black men and their mental health and mental wellness. So we're going to also weave that into this conversation tonight. So get your Black men, get them to tune in. This is a conversation that is definitely for them, and we would love to have their voice in this conversation, in this chat with us. So you refill my little mug. Bro, every time I get on, I never have my music ready. And I say, oh no, not today. I got Robo on the line. I'm going to have my music. Shout out to Tabitha Brown. Hello there. Y'all love Tabitha. Definitely Black history in the making. If you don't know Tabitha Brown, I don't know what rock you living under, but Tabitha Brown is absolutely amazing. Her seasonings are amazing. Her food is amazing. Hello there. Thank you, Tabitha Brown. You are Black history in the making. We're going to give it a few more minutes, get a few more folks on the line with us. And also share this link with folks who maybe they can't get on tonight, but they can definitely come back to this conversation because this, I guarantee you, will be a good conversation. And you don't want, again, your men, your Black men to miss this conversation, your young boys to miss this conversation. All right. Let me make sure I turn my music off though, because you know I love me some Kendrick. I have to see him in concert. I feel like he's gonna change my life. But okay. Let me turn my music off. Good evening, everybody. My name is Tanisha Jointer. I am the founder of Invested Consulting Firm, and I am so happy to be with you all. Come on, Mishla. Hi, sugar. So happy to be with y'all. So happy to have so many familiar faces joining us and being part of this conversation tonight. Where do I start? So for those of you, if this is your first time tuning into this conversation, I was thinking as my team and I prepare for Black History Month, it was so important for us to really think about how do we highlight and elevate Black history in the making. And I thought, what better group of people to start with than the people that are right in my network. I remember a while back, I went to this super dope training for entrepreneurs that talked about your network is your net worth. And that has stayed with me throughout my career. And so I want to encourage you all to take a look at your circle, right? Do you have history makers amongst you? And if you don't, rethink them circles, y'all, because you are who you hang with, you are who you're around. And so make sure you surround yourself with amazing people. And I am just so blessed and so fortunate to have so many amazing, I'm talking about just amazing leaders, across all sectors in my life. So super excited to get into this conversation tonight. Again, if you are unfamiliar with Investor Consulting Firm, what we do is we provide a customized training for community partners and school districts across the country around healing centered and trauma informed practices. So if you or your organization is doing any bit of work around healing, around trauma, definitely reach out to us. We are at Invested Consulting Firm on Instagram. And without further ado, God, I'm so happy to be with you. I ain't seen you in so long. I know summertime is over. We ain't outside in the parks no more. So I'm so excited just to lay eyes on you. But I present to you all Mr. Roshaun Bowens. And Ro, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself because you are the man of the hour.
Okay. So my name is Roshaun Bowens. Most people call me Ro. I hail from Nashville, Tennessee. I've been in Chicago about 15 years now. So people think, oh, you from? No, I'm not even a little bit. I'm a country boy all day long through and through. Um, However, Chicago has been good to me, hence why I'm still here for the moment. Um,
I love how
I
you slot that for the moment in there on us. Okay, we listening to good.
So I consider myself a therapist, an educator, and an athlete. I probably should put athlete first because everything that I do now stems from being an athlete, my whole life, and all the transferable skills that I learned playing sports, have turned into leadership skills that I use in the education sector. And then I also use it in the mental health sector, So I'm pretty passionate about education. I'm pretty passionate about mentoring. I'm passionate about Black people. I'm passionate about being happy. Okay. Because if you think about it, people, the earth been along how long? Like billions of years? Trillions, gazillions? I don't know. But the average American lives to be like 80 years old. So if you really think about it, we here that long, so I'm real passionate about doing whatever it takes to be happy. And I started B3 Enterprises, which is a psychology education institution, So again, I'm just real big on making sure people got information, So I appreciate you, Tanisha, for creating this platform to spread the awareness. Because if we want to reduce the stigma, so part of B3's mission, so here's what B3 mission is to reduce the stigma about mental health. Okay? Ain't nothing wrong with it. And I don't want to just start talking. I'll wait for the questions or whatever. I don't want to get on those soapbox, But I'm saying, people, it's okay. You got mental health issues, okay? And we're going to talk about that later. But I'm telling you right now, you got some. And it's cool.
I love it. Normalizing mental health and just mental health in general. I'm not even going to say Black men's mental health, Black women's mental health, just mental health period in the Black community is so crucial, especially in just the trying times that we're living in right now. Yeah, I'm gonna hold it because I'm like I got so many ways I want to go, but I also want to make sure, bro, if you can tell us what does B3, what does the three stand for? Can you give us that information about B3? Oh, yeah. And also, where can people follow you on social media? We're going to get that at the top and in the back end of this conversation.
Got you, for sure. So B3, the first B stand for beliefs. And that's a shout out to my dad, because that's one of the core values that he taught me from when I can remember is you got to believe in yourself, But guess what? You can believe and dream and do that all day long. If you ain't got no behaviors or no actions with it, then, dreams don't work unless you do. And then the last B stands for balance. And that's just a general principle in life. No matter what your practice, no matter what beliefs you got to have balance in order to keep things sustainable.
And people can find you, what's your website or your Instagram?
B3Psychology.life is the website, and all media handles is B3 Psychology.
Okay, cool. So if you all are not following Ro and B3, make sure you go ahead and get on your phones. Go ahead and get into that too. We want to make sure that you are able to access us at any time. Any questions that come up, feel free to email, reach out, slide in the DM appropriately, and we will make sure we get you the information that you need. So I want to kick this conversation off, Ro. You kind of alluded to it a little bit. You were talking about, the sports world and
Mhm.
education, but I want to like explicitly hone in on what is your career or leadership journey? What has that been like? What got you to this space that you're in? Now, how did you get here?
Um, So again, I would say I've always been busy. I've always played all sports year round, and my dad made sure I trained as well. I had the best of both worlds because my mama, when I went training, guess what I was doing? My mama making sure I'm studying. So I ain't never been a dumb jock, even though some I have gotten that. I catch people off guard sometimes, like not even close, right? So I've always been busy, which allowed me to be disciplined, which allowed me to achieve goals. So one thing about me, I'm a goal getter. I set them. I'm talking about baby goals today and 5-year goals. That's just
Mhm.
what motivates me, right?
Mhm.
Is achieving stuff, marking stuff off my to do list. Um, and then when it got to that point, right, where it's like, all right, basketball, I had got cut. I was the second leading scorer in the country. I was in Luxembourg, averaging 30 points a game. I ain't never averaged 30 points a game in my life. I'm thinking I'm killing, you know what I'm saying? But the team wasn't winning, right?
Mhm.
So I got cut. So I came to a crossroads like, man, do I keep I got an offer to go play like in the Middle East? I'm like, do I want to go to the Middle East and play? I love basketball, but nah, it's wars going on. Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna go back to school. So that's what brought me to Chicago. I applied to grad schools. My undergrad degree is in psychology. So I knew I had to get my master's at minimum for the opportunities that I desired. Came here to Adler School of Professional Psychology. I was supposed to be here 2 years, get my master's degree, kick it. Me and my girl had just broke up, so I'm single, single. I'm like, what? Going to Chicago, single, single, Gucci, you know. And my sister was the only one that was like, life don't work like that. One door leads to another one, and here I am, 15 years later. So I got my master's degree. I immediately started doing therapy, so I have been a practicing clinician for 15 years. But again, I love education, and I had previously been a substitute teacher. It was a school across the street. I'm like, man, like let me get some of this sub money. And I started off as a sub. I had a principal who poured into me. So one thing about my journey, and this is a messaging, all of this, if people want to mentor you, take the mentorship. If
That's right.
somebody else sees something in you, don't be blocking your own blessings.
That's right.
Kind of why you nah, take that, like receive it, and at least receive it and then take from it what you want and throw the rest out, but don't just ignore it. So yeah, I had a principal that poured into me and was like, yeah, you need to go get your type 75. I didn't even know what that was. I looked it up. It was your principal certificate. I went and got it. So that led me to speed up the process I've been working for a CPS. I'm now in charter school, but which is still a CPS charter school, but I've been working for pretty much CPS for like what 12, 13 like years now in some capacity. Where I worked with you at, which was a very growth experience for me, working for
Indeed.
a central office downtown. Because you think about education and you want the kids to learn and teach. It's a big business. It's a corporate side of education that I did not know.
Yeah.
So yeah. So now I'm sitting at the table. We were sitting at the tables, and you want to pat yourself on the back for making it to the table, but now you're at the table and you're like, hold on, some ain't adding up. This math ain't mathing. This
This
budget
ain't
ain't
mathing. It
budgeting.
ain't mathing. It ain't mathing at all. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Network of Lamb kind of show. Why we always
Yeah.
show, so
Yeah.
forth and so on.
Yeah.
So that was a learning experience for me, and that kind of prompted me to start B3, and that's when I went into practice full time for myself, seeing about 30 to 40 clients a week. And then now currently I'm assistant principal at Epic Academy. I got a phone call. It was a no-brainer for me. I've been there 2.5 years now, and it's been amazing. Shout out to my legends out there. And yeah, that's my little journey in a nutshell. And the one thing I can say tied to the sports, I literally learned 3 things from my sports career. In high school, it was self-development. My high school team wasn't that good, but between me and my dad, we came up with our own workouts. We bought books and Bobby Knight books, and you know what I'm saying, like to try to get better. So that's self-development. I still do that to this day, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm always trying to improve self because you can't lie to yourself, people. Like, let me look in the camera on this one. You can lie to your wife, your husband, your girl, your boo, your babe, your mama, your daddy. You can't lie to yourself, right? And if you do start lying
Absolutely.
to yourself, that's another whole type of disorder that we need to, you know what I'm saying, like
So let's unpack.
on another episode. But yeah, that's very crucial. And then it was communication. You can't talk to everybody the same way. So I'm a rah type person, but what I learned, I get in your face. Everybody can't talk that. So if you had practice and I need to get into my teammate butt to light a fire up under him, some teammates you can yell at and they're gonna feel embarrassed and come back and work harder. Some gonna go into a shell. So what I had to learn is some people you gotta catch after practice in the locker room and everybody gone, or some people
Mm-hmm.
you got to watch your tone, or some people
Mm-hmm.
I got to watch your space, so I learned how to
Mm-hmm.
communicate better. And then when I was overseas, I'm in Europe, y'all, and this is what 15 years ago. It wasn't all this technology and FaceTime and all that, so it's just me and these foreigners, and I appreciated it, right? But I had to learn. So I was the only one getting paid. For anybody out there who want to hoop, if you got a nephew or son or somebody thinking about going overseas, try to get on a team where more than one American is on the team getting paid. Why? Because you can shift the blame. When you're the only person on the team getting paid, then when you win, yep, they had me on the front page. I still got the articles. All right. But if we lose, it's my fault too, right?
Mm.
So what I had to do is I had to find ways to build relationship with my teammates who not getting paid. So I'm literally letting them borrow the PlayStation. Oh, you like PlayStation? You can have this mug, but I need you to play hard. I need you to come to practice.
Mm.
One dude was obsessed with coffee. I'm bringing this man, like I'm his maid. I'm bringing this man coffee just the way he like it every day, But I'm doing whatever it takes to achieve the goal.
Yeah.
And in my job now, as a principal, it's about relationships.
Yes,
You
sir.
gotta be in relationships. Like people don't work for people that you don't like. I don't like
Mm.
working for people I don't like. But anyway,
And we know for a fact that people don't leave jobs because of the work; they leave jobs because of the people. That
correct.
relationship part is so crucial. Um, man, what a journey! I mean, so let me because I like to take notes. Let me tell you what I feel like I heard you say. Um, one thing that really resonated with me was this idea of when people want to pour into you, let them be able to receive that help, that love, that support. I think that's so crucial for young people to hear, right? I think oftentimes we hear and we see a lot of young people, feeling very hopeless in life, but just knowing like there's somebody, there may be someone, who is pouring into you, and you may not even recognize that it's them pouring into you. If that adult is speaking to you, if that adult is encouraging you, that person is pouring into you in some way. So making sure you're able and have a readiness to receive someone
Mhm.
pouring into you in a way. Um, the other thing that I heard was like learning from the experiences. I think oftentimes we go through life and we think that we have this plan of what we gonna do, and
Mhm.
how we gonna get there, but it's those experiences that we get along the way that really get us that growth and development that we need right in that moment. Which leads me to the other thing that I really want to elevate that you said, that investing in yourself. It is so important no matter where you are in your life. Again, this is why that circle is so important, y'all. Like investing and pouring into yourself is so critical to your growth and development. If you are still the same person you were 5-10 years ago, that's a problem. Like legitly, there is a problem with that, right? We should always be on a path of growth and elevation. And again, surrounding yourself with people who are like-minded in that way will absolutely take you everywhere that you need to go. I remember a conversation with a mentor, and she said, surround yourself with people that are better than you. And of course, like I'm young, I'm a little cocky. I'm like, what better than me? I'm. But it really made me think about this idea of better than, right? And not better than as if I'm less than, but people that are where I'm trying to go,
Mhm.
right? Because then it doesn't seem so far away.
Correct.
That reach up don't seem so far because I got somebody that's at the table, right?
Mhm.
All of that time we were so eager to get to central office and we got to the table, and the first thing we all wanted to do was get back into school so people know that somebody that looked like you was at the table.
Mhm.
I'm here to pull you up, right? So that
Mhm.
that capacity, that is just so important. And I want to make sure that folks who are tuning in and listening later really receive that in your being, making sure that you are pouring in and investing in other people, and allowing folks to pour and invest in you in that way. I don't know if you mentioned this, bro, but you better shout out TSU. You better shout them out. Big
Oh
ups
yeah.
to TSU. I
So
got a
I
nephew down
definitely
there and everything.
I definitely graduated from Tennessee State University, and I bleed blue all day long. I stay repping. I'm sure it was going to come out at some point, but thank you for highlighting that. The one specific thing I can say is our motto is think, work, serve, and it's that serve part. I'm a
You don't
servant
know in the model.
leader 100%. I'm a servant leader because it's hard to knock somebody when I'm working just as hard as you. I gave you everything you need. I listened to you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm in the trenches, I'm on the top, I'm doing everything, to make sure you got what you need. So I really got that serve part from TSU, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, shout out to all my
Big ups
Tigers
to
out
our
there.
HBCUs. I've always wanted to go to HBCU. Secret fact about me, y'all, I always wanted to be a major red. I don't know what it is about that whole like I just so anybody looking for an old major red, I'm your girl. Any HBCU got a PhD program and y'all, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna be a major red and it's gonna be litty. Okay, okay. TSU homecoming 1 year. It was the wall situation. You want to tell the people about the wall?
Oh yeah, so I actually got inducted into the on the Wall of Fame, man. And my homegirl, I didn't even know nothing about it. My homegirl was on Snapchat and was like, "Oh, look what I see." And it was like black and white. So I'm like, oh, okay. She done found the old poster. I still want that. I'm a very sentimental person. like you know what I'm saying? Um, and then as she got closer, it kept getting bigger. And it's literally, y'all, like a life-size mirror of your boy for the work that I put in on the court and off the court. So that's a special part about it to me, because I did have like decent stats, right? I'm definitely a hooper, but it was also about the service that we have done for the community, which makes it even more sweeter. And if I can be transparent, the day that I found out, I was going through some toxic stress at work. I'm talking
Indeed.
about I beat on the table, y'all. I'm talking about I beat on the table. I said, roll. Now I did it, but I was under toxic stress, y'all. I beat on the table, and then I called myself. I said, Ro, you tweaking. So I just left. And I'm walking downtown, and I look at my phone, and this is when I see that. And when I realized that my school done put my image on this doggone wall for everybody to see the message that it sent. And I'm gonna keep it real, broke down crying
As
instantly.
you should have. As you should
Downtown.
have.
Strangers coming to me. I guess they seen a big black dude. I'm talking about crying. Hey, oh, you okay? I mean, it was kind of like a very human moment too, but now I'm good. Don't touch me. I'm straight. But thank you though. You know what I'm saying? But in that moment, the agony that I was going through at work, and I'm trying to use the vocab words because I'm not exaggerating. Agony sounds like a good
Indeed.
one. Okay, the agony I was under had me so upset because I felt like I wasn't valued. Like I'm pouring so much into this situation, to this
Mhm.
job, into the work, and I'm not appreciated. It's driving me crazy, right? And then when I saw that mural, I'm like, dang, here it is. If I'm keeping it real, I'm letting 2-3 marks get me all rattled. And here it is. I got a whole university that appreciate what I do. A whole university. So that was an
Mhm.
amazing moment. So shout out to ZZ who posted it. Shout out to Tennessee State for the recognition. And yeah, man.
It's so important, folks, that we give people their roses, right? While they're alive, while they can smell them, while they can enjoy them. So when you stop listening to this, when you go do whatever you're doing, I want you to text 2 to 3 people in your phone, right? That you just need to give some roses to, because you never know where folks are at and what those roses will
Mhm.
mean for them. You never know what that will do to just boost their, and not even just ego or confidence or self-esteem, but just the power in being seen. And again, this was one of the reasons why it was so important for me to create space for people that are just in my circle doing amazing work. Like, people need to know about you. People need to know. So you can get your roses right here, right now, today. So again, big up to you for all that you have done in the come on for the poster. Come on for the poster. Big shout out to you for all that you have done in the basketball world. Sure, TSU and all of that. But even in education and even now into this next chapter or this continual chapter into the clinical world. Um, Again, black men's mental health, black men specifically mental health is like it's a topic. We are talking about it. We got black men doing yoga. We got black men out here trying to heal. And it for me as a black woman is one of the most beautiful things that I like it is just it is beautiful. It is beautiful to love a black man and to be supporting a black man that is through his own healing journey. Um but bro, I want you to talk about that. Like being a therapist right now, right? You've been doing this for quite some time, 15 years. I imagine that over those 15 years, there's been such a transition in who you're serving and why they're coming to you. Can you give us a little insight about the trends that you're seeing in the mental health world?
Mm-hmm. So here's the thing about it. What has remained pretty consistent if we come in from a high level, and this speaks to what I was saying earlier about we all got it, is uh, anxiety and stress related illnesses and mood disorders, most commonly depression. And there's all type of depressions, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if we stay high level, everybody who's watching this right now, have you ever gotten to a mood before? Have you ever been in a bad mood? Okay, yes. Have you ever said I'm stressed out, I'm anxious, heart beating fast? Yes. Okay. So here's the thing: we all have mental issues. We all got mental issues, but you don't want those mental issues to turn into mental illness. See, a issue is something that needs tending to, a topic or situation that needs tending to,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's an issue. We all got mental issues because you got things you're thinking about. Should I do this? Should I do that? Blah, 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 blah. But what happens is if you don't tend to those mental issues, those mental issues turn into mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the difference come is now those same situations is having a negative impact on your way of life.
Mm-hmm.
So the key is you have to you have to be preventative, be proactive. So I'm a cognitive behavior therapist. And one of the specific strategies is labeling, right? You have to label stuff. So if you don't keep it real with yourself and do some self-reflection, then you're never going to be able to get out that jam. You're never going to be able to achieve your goals. Um, and I just segue into this because it's a key point that I tell every single client that I've had is, and this is part of the stigma piece, right? Is therapy is about three things. One, self-reflection. You know, again, that whole speech I made about you can't lie to yourself and all that. That's the self. You gotta be able to self-reflect. That's a positive thing. Like you an expert. I tell all my clients, you an expert on your life. I have expertise in a certain field and 15 years of experience. So there ain't nothing new up under the sun. And we mix all that together to help you achieve your goals, right? But the first key is self-reflection. The second thing, anybody that come see me, or just when I'm out in the world, when I drop game on people like I'm doing now, it's about skill building, which is the behavior piece. You got to have skills. You got to build skills. And here's why people love me as a therapist. Because when they be talking, I just be identifying all kind of strengths and skills they got that they don't even know they got. Because why? It's the stigma, mental health. Oh, it's negative. Something's wrong. I'm broken. This is bad. No, stop it. It's life. Life be lifing.
Life.
And it will knock you out if you don't get some skills, right? And it starts by recognizing the skills that we all got. And then the third thing is therapy is about solutions. I'm not no psychoanalytic therapy. Yeah, we can talk about what happened to you when you were 6, 7 years old. Cool. Because that might happen. But we're going to instantly try to connect that to what's going on right now. And you said your goals is this. Let's come up with some solutions to get that. So think about it. If you go to therapy, go to counseling, and you get to self-reflect about your own self, it ain't nobody telling you nothing about you. It's you self-reflecting. Then somebody going to help you identify skills you got, help build new ones, give you resources to do it, tell you how it done been done before, so you ain't starting from scratch.
Right.
And then put all that together to find solutions. You said you want a new job. You said you want to leave this man. You said you want to move out the state. You said you want to sleep better at night. You said you want to lose weight. You said whatever. Let's identify them goals and make it happen, you know.
I don't know if I even mentioned this, y'all. I also am a licensed clinical social worker, and I was seeing clients for a while, and then I had to stop because my life was just too much. So shout out to all the clinicians out there who know when it's time for you to step away from the work, because that transference is real, and we don't need you out here messing up folks more than bringing folks more bags than they already got. So I have definitely suspended my practice for a while just because I need to work on me, right? But I love that mention of self-reflection. I find that not only when I was practicing, even in my personal life, right? That capacity to self-reflect, to have those very honest conversations with yourself. And I'm gonna throw this back out there again, y'all. Having the right circle will help you in that self-reflection. What I can say, being in a real adult relationship, y'all, has been the biggest self-reflection of my life, where someone is literally turning a mirror and like telling you, and not pointing out in a malicious way. If you with somebody who point your flaws out in a malicious way, you need to call Ro. Y'all need to have a different conversation. But being in a relationship and being in a space where someone is able to help you identify or at least point this thing out so that you can really name that thing, because it's through that naming and again that self-reflection that we can begin our growth and our healing process. That is magical. So again, if you ain't in company, if you in company with all yes man, yes, hey, you need to find you a new circle. That piece about skill building and just practicing those skills, and I mean, these are gems. So again, if you are out here considering therapy, contemplating therapy, like, no, this is what you're going to get in therapy. And if you're not ready for it, right, how do you get ready? Because there also has to be a readiness for this work. I think I saw this morning on Instagram, Viola Davis talked about the healing journey, and everybody like, I'm out here healing. I'm out here healing. And it is the most uncomfortable, awkward, naked, just hurtful thing you ever want to experience, but it's necessary. It is so necessary. So make sure, just recapping, making sure that you have some readiness for this process, for this journey. Two, making sure that again you have the capacity to self-reflect, or even having folks in your space that are helping you self-reflect, building those skills, and being solution focused is so important, especially just in the world that we're living in right now. Like, we see all the problems of the world, but like, what are we willing to do? What are we willing to give? What are we willing to sacrifice? Remember, Chicago, folks, elections is coming up soon. Do not miss your opportunity to vote. Get out there and vote. Mayor and city council positions are up for election. So please make sure you exercise that right, y'all, because that's how we create solutions. We create solutions in laws and policies, not just us complaining about it. So thank you so much for that, Ro. Oh my God. I'm looking at time. I'm looking at my list of questions. That's so many things that I would love to talk to you about. Anybody that's tuning in, if y'all have any questions for Ro or myself, just about the journey, about his experience, about this mental health world, we definitely appreciate that. You can go ahead and drop that in the chat. I will make sure that I read your questions out for us. What is something that you want Black men to know, Black men, Black boys to know about mental health? What is your, like, this is my public message?
Well, first, a general message that just popped in my head for people out there. If you contemplating going to therapy, you can vet your therapist. So one question you need to ask your therapist is, ask your therapist whether you go on BetterHelp or Psychology Today, wherever, or whether it's a referral. Ask the therapist, what's your theoretical background or what's your theoretical approach, right? Because it should be aligned to what you looking for. So again, you do have to self-reflect and come prepared with whatever you trying to work on as some type of goal, right? But if the therapist can't answer that question, or if they get to saying too many things, it's kind of, hey, Tanisha, I'm always suspect of the menus that sell everything. So you sell Italian, Mexican, American. Nah. What you good
What
at?
is your expertise?
Yeah, what's your expertise, right? So for all the people out there, definitely vet your therapist, and that's one question you should ask. And from there, it should be a conversation, and you can just like go from there. Um, when I think about the Black man mental health piece, like three things come to my mind. One is just upbringing, being macho, the whole don't cry, that's real. I think it has shifted some, but there's still, room to grow. Um, that leads us like, because most people, don't know the difference between emotions and feelings. That's one of the number one things that I teach at all my training is the difference between emotions and feelings. And I guess since I said that, I might as well just explain that, right?
Drop this knowledge.
Um, but in layman's terms, your emotions are biological. No matter what theory you subscribe to, there's only 5 to 7 common emotions, right? However, your feelings are the mental associations or the cognitive attachments to describe or explain that emotion. There's over 150 or 200 of those. So the main thing to learn from that is our emotions are biological. They're gonna happen. If you one of them people that tell people to stop being mad, stop doing that. Cause
Please,
cause
please,
if you keep it real,
please,
look,
please.
when if you tell somebody who mad to stop being mad, what happens?
I'm only gonna get mad at y'all.
They get madder.
My eyebrows are gonna go up here. They're going to go off my face. So everybody, please stop mentioning my eyebrows. Okay, I can't control them. Sorry, I felt
Listen,
personal. That felt personal. That felt
listen,
personal.
they gonna get mad, and the reason they get mad because it's biological. But so I tell this quick story to illustrate this point, right? So anger is a basic human emotion, just like happiness, surprise, fear, right? But let's take anger. We all can relate to anger. I was at an 8th grade graduation. That was new to me. In Tennessee, you graduate kindergarten, you graduate high school. You know what I'm saying? 8th grade, you ain't did nothing, but everybody into it. I'm into it too. Okay, I'm all about celebrating the students, right? This one particular student, let's just call him Dre, right? Everybody happy Dre graduating for one reason or another. Let's get Dre out of here, and we did it, y'all. Grandma, oh man, we had looked at grandma almost finna fall off the balcony. We had to go get her down to the first floor. She trying to hang over and wave the sign, but the knees a little wobbly. I see they in line. They step on Dre's shoes, some white Jordan 13s, some all white Jordan 13s. I remember because them some of my favorites. I see the scuff mark from back of the auditorium. I know how Dre get down. Dre ain't came that far along. I instantly go up there, grab him, walk him back. I look down at his J's. I said, dang, Dre, if I was you, I'd be pissed. The other teachers around. But what I did in that moment, I affirmed his emotion of anger because it's real.
Right. That's right.
Because I would be pissed if somebody stepped on my J's. But check out what I did. And which is what we need to do as a people, what you need to do to yourself, what you need to do to your spouse, what you need to help your kids do.
Come on, spouse.
Is I help Dre manage his feelings because it's cognitive, which means you got control over it. So you can think right now, dang, I'm pissed off. I feel irate. Because after your feelings come what? Your behavior. It's all connected. That's basic psychology. Emotions, feelings, behavior. But if I tell myself I'm irate, I'm enraged, then I'm going to go over there, step on their shoes bag. It's going to start a fight. But if I say, dang, man, I'm mad. I'm pissed. I feel irritated. Now, the irritated might just make me F y'all and go on by my business. Physical confrontation avoided, right? So that's just a simple example of how, yes, we are in control of what feelings we attach to the emotion. Because, and you have to be able to articulate this, because when we need to advocate for ourselves, when we need help, so check it. What I mean by that is, let's just go relationships. If you, because after you identify your feeling, you need support. Like, you want help, right? If you feeling irritated or whatever, but guess what? You feeling irritated is different than you feeling isolated. So my solution needs to be different.
Different.
My
Right.
approach to you needs to be different. If you feeling isolated, then yeah, let me come at you. What we need to do, like, let's go downtown with some people and do something, right? Or if you feeling irritated, I might need a different approach, based on our relationship, But that's key. We're talking about black men. I just wanted to share that. I think I got off topic. But
It's okay.
so it's how we're raised. So we need to learn more about emotional and feeling. We all talk about emotional regulation, but it's really regulating and identifying. Because you know what a self-awareness skill is? A self-awareness skill is being able to accurately identify your emotions and feelings. So just
Indeed.
that, man, I'm pissed, man. Or all you men out there who just shut down, and I have shut down. I don't shut down no more, but I've been a shut down. I ain't talking about nothing. I said what I said, and I'm gonna do what I do. That's not the move, fellas. Okay, that's not the move. All right. But well, where was I going with that? Oh, you gotta learn. Oh, so you gotta learn how to identify accurate feelings. The next thing is, I think as a black man, we don't trust the system, man, on some racism stuff, man. Like, racism is real.
Yes,
The
indeed it is.
psychological impact. I have a book. Oh, like that'd be cold if the book is right here on this bookshelf. Is it? Is it? Is it? No, it's not. But it's called The Psychological Impact of Slavery. You know,
Mm.
how slavery wasn't that long ago. My grandmama picked cotton. Like my mama done been sprayed by a water hose before. So racism is real. People try to act like it's so like long ago. That's another
All these
whole
black and
story.
white pictures, like, nah, we can see that in color. Like, that was
Yeah.
definitely not that long ago.
Yeah, so I think that mistrust of the context of sitting down, you typing notes, I'm telling you my deep, dark, inner secrets about abuse I've been through or abuse I've done to other people, and you over here writing what you writing down, you know what I'm saying? So it's that trust factor, man. Especially, I think the latest statistic I saw, man, there's only like 24% of like black male therapists out there in the country,
Yeah,
and that may not even be black male
I,
therapists, because I
they have
saw another
all us together.
statistic that was like it was 14% of all the psychology graduate students in the country were black. 14% out of all the programs, all the psychology programs in the whole country, right? So that culturally, so one thing, B3, so my long-term goal for B3 is I want to be like a hub for therapists who just train culturally relevant therapists, no matter what color you are,
Mm-hmm.
but we're going to be culturally relevant. You can come, I'm going to train you. You can see some clients in the meantime, boom, go start your own practice. So that's one of my goals is producing culturally relevant therapists. And then the last one is I feel like we get it in other places. Excuse me. I feel like we get it in barbershops, we get it at the gym,
Mm.
we get it in the garage, at the barbecues, you know what I'm saying? Which, don't get it twisted. It's all type of therapeutic strategies that don't got to happen in therapy. So yes, I'm not saying that those situations aren't therapeutic. They are 100%.
For
I
sure.
participate in them. However, here's another disconnect. People, because they are who they are, right? And like I said, you are an expert on your life. They feel like you can't tell me nothing about my life. But
Mhm.
here's the thing, though. You go to a doctor or a professional for everything else. For everything. I ain't got to run through the list. So think about it. Your mind, your brain controls everything. That's the first symbol of B3 is the brain. Your brain control everything. So now when it comes to your brain, you don't want no help. Now you don't need no help. Now you don't need. Now you gonna holler at Uncle JoJo. You gonna holler at Uncle JoJo about
Uncle
your
Joe ain't fixing no broke arm, so he shouldn't be fixing his mental stuff. But okay.
Come on, man. You know Uncle JoJo don't know what's going on. And I ain't saying you can't learn from those who have not achieved. You can learn from other people's mistakes. But all I'm saying is your mental is the most important thing in the human body. So why not go to a professional? And what you mean professional? Well, this is professional. I've studied psychology for years and years and years. Like on my own and paid for it. Bigger than that, I've been practicing for 15 years. There's nothing new up under the sun. And again, the first part is to self-reflect. You gonna self-reflect and tell me your business, and I'm gonna tell you my business or what I think, and it's a collaborative effort, man. So again, I just think, and I give one example. I'm in the locker room, my homie, man, he's telling his business, like I ain't sleeping, I ain't eating, man, I can't think straight, this, then that. I'm like, dang, bro, you sound depressed. What? Boy, I ain't depressed, man. You crazy, boy. Joe, you go. I said, my bad, man. So look, he kept talking. He kept talking. Guess what I hit him with? I said, man, you sound down bad. He's like, man, I'm down bad as hell. My boy, okay, you don't want me to get clinical, but down bad as hell is equivalent to some depression tendencies, okay? Some depressive symptoms, And again, what I tell people is to get an official diagnosis, you got to have like 6 to like 7 or 8 criteria, right?
Mm-hmm.
You might have 3 of the criteria.
Mm-hmm.
So no, you might not meet the all the criteria to be clinically diagnosed with depression, but you still got 3 of them criteria though, bro. And if you don't tend to them, and then it is going to become clinical. Going back to my whole point is you got to tend to the mental issues before it turns to mental illness.
Yeah. So much in that. And I think it's important too for Black women, to think about how do we support Black men's mental health, right? One of the questions that came up in the chat is about like how do you educate Black moms who are raising Black boys around just Black male mental health, right? And I think the same can be said for, Black women who are supporting Black men in any capacity, be it mother, son, aunt, nephew, spouses, etc. Like, how do we? I mean, I probably could answer this question too, but as a Black man, what do you say to Black women who are out here trying to support Black men in their mental health space? Oh boy, that was a big sigh. Oh.
I mean, that's a good question. I'm trying to be general because I get real personal, because I am single. Not saying, I'm fishing, but hey, I'm spitting facts. So I don't know no man that don't like words of affirmation. No matter what, I do believe in the love languages. If you ain't did the 5 love languages and you think it's a like some a gimmick or something, no, it's research based. It's real. You know what I'm saying? So you should check that out. So and by words of affirmation is because most men, unless you just messing with a bum, okay, and if you messing with a bum, then that's on you. Then you can't do nothing because he's a bum. You need to get out of there. Okay. But for any good man, he's always devising a master plan in his head. All right. So the more you affirm him, even if you're not affirming him, so here's like another gem. Ants. It's called automatic negative thoughts. So just like real ants, if you know anything about ants, they work together in teams like none other, and they strong as heck. The average ant can carry 10 times their body weight. Well, automatic negative thoughts. The reason why I say everybody got mental issues because everybody got negative thoughts. You had a negative thought. I was up this morning like, man, why this baby hair that look whack? I'm taking the clippers because I'm like, damn, that hair sticking out whack. Like, let me get that off, right? So you have them, but just like ants, they work together. So what I mean by that is, if I start doubting myself as a businessman, I might start doubting
Mhm.
myself as a spouse, doubting myself as a father, doubting myself as a mentor. It's a slippery slope because them negative thoughts work together. So the more you positively affirm your man, even if it's not specifically about the master plan, or you may not even know, he might be in secretive, but guess what? The more you affirm him, the more comfortable he's going to get, because now I feel safe. Because now when I tell you this business plan, or now when I tell you I want to move to Texas, I know you're gonna, even if you don't want to move to Texas, I know you ain't finna just crap on me because you affirm me so much. I know even if you don't want to move to Texas, you're probably gonna still say, "Oh, baby, that's a real good idea. I don't know if we can move right now, though, but blah 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 blah." So I say, women just do a good job about affirming um black men. And that's the main thing that comes to my mind. Creating a safe place, but that's kind of, and you can create a safe place all kind of ways. So I'm gonna say one of the ways to create a safe place, and I'm talking about authentic affirmation now. I'm
Your
talking
shoes
about,
look nice.
yeah, and I know, like, it got to be authentic, genuine affirmation. So,
And I'm thinking now, put my clinical hat on for 2.5 seconds because that's all y'all gonna get. I think as a black woman and supporting black men and boys mental health is one, to your point, and I think you talked about this before, just like naming and giving folks the name of whatever it is they're feeling, right? To your point about anger oftentimes being such a quick emotion, but are you angry, are you disappointed, are you angry, are you disgusted, are you right? So making sure that we're giving black boys, black men the emotional vocabulary, so that they can express and name whatever it is that's coming up for them, I think is really important for us as black women, and specifically for black mothers raising black boys. You even alluded to it about, like, that kind of macho attitude and like men don't cry. Like, yes, if this is what's coming up for your son, your spouse, even allowing them that, again, safe space to feel those feelings however they need to actually come out is also important. You mentioned love languages, which I think is definitely great to bring up, but I also think it's important for people to know that with those love languages, knowing yours is great, knowing your spouse is great, but you need to love them the way that they receive love, right? Like,
mm-hmm.
to your point, affirmations. My partner, affirmations is his jam. Affirmations is my weakness. It's so hard for me. Like, God, right? And my love language is acts of service, right? And so we both are trying to love each other in languages that we will both respond to. And I think that same is said again, even supporting black boys, black men, is like figuring out what motivates them, what kind of pours into them and fills them up, and us as women being able to do that. Again, creating that safe space. I mean, we could talk for hours about creating safe space, just physical space, right? But even just that emotional safe space where one can share emotions, and I'm not going, for lack of better words, shit on your emotions like, oh, that's stupid, I can't believe you came up with that, right? Women, we have to create opportunities and space for, again, our men, our boys, to tell us how they feel, and we just are just there to receive that information. So yeah, I think those are my suggestions for those of you who are out there listening. How can we support black men? We could just show up and support them however they need us to, and allow black men and boys to tell us what they need. We ain't got to tell them what they need on their healing journey. That ain't our place. Our place is to be there to support them as they identify what they absolutely need on their healing journeys.
Mm-hmm.
Taking a look at time, because I definitely want to respect your time. I had one or two more questions for you. You've already talked a little bit about where you see B3 in the next few years. Are there any other goals or desires that you have for B3?
Well, if I'm going big ambition, I've always wanted to do like a academy for young men. Sixth, seventh, and eighth grade is like my personal like favorite. So if I can create an academy for sixth, seventh, and eighth graders, that would be awesome. I also would want to. So I've never really identified as like an entrepreneur until like in the last couple years. Because for some reason, to your point earlier, you made of I didn't know a whole lot of business owners growing up. And now at my age now, I got homies out here working for themselves. Yes, doing their thing. I'm like, oh dang, you can really do that and still wear nice clothes and buy nice suits, and you making all the money yourself and can choose to pay other people.
Come on now.
Hey, yeah, now I see it's doable. I would love to have a comprehensive like community health center, you know,
Mm,
that had all the services from medical to the gym, fitness center, tech lab,
mm,
mental
mm-hmm.
health. So out those are the two big ones. The things that I know for sure probably gonna happen is me being a college professor and being an orator, like traveling the country, just speaking and making money and motivating people and destigmatizing mental health. That's probably more so in the near future. So
I absolutely love that. And so, anybody that is listening, that is watching, that's coming back to listen to this, if you know anybody or any space, any platform that can help Mr. Bowens achieve that goal, please feel free to reach out to him directly. We'll make sure before we wrap up that you share again how folks can reach you. But it's so important for us because it's so important for us to take care and support each other, right? We got to save ourselves. That's the one thing. If Black folks don't know by now, like we definitely got to be out here saving ourselves. And so, if you or somebody in your network can help Ro bring his vision to life, please reach out to me directly, reach out to Ro directly, because we definitely want to see you, just as a Black man, be amazing and live out your purpose. You know what I mean?
mhm,
So shout out to you for dreaming and thinking big, because I think that's something that more of us need to do is just think big, outside the box, beyond the box. Who needs a box, right?
mhm,
um Before we head out of here, I want to thank you so much for your time. I want to thank all of you all for tuning in and just being on this journey and a part of this conversation with us. Just FYI, we're ending this Black History in the Making tour on Tuesday. We have a super dope speaker coming to us, Crystal Sherrill, from CPS and Company. So excited to have Crystal next Tuesday. So if y'all able to tune in, it's a lunchtime. I know lunchtime is always complicated for folks, but if you're able to tune in on Tuesday, we would love to see you here on next Tuesday. Um, we're going into March though. March is both Women's History Month and social work appreciation month. So shout out to all my social workers out there. If you are a social worker, you know an amazing social worker, or if you know a woman who is making history, reach out to us. We would love to have them a part of our kind of conversation tour, for next month. Again, my name is Tanisha Joynton. I am the founder of Investor Consulting Firm. You can follow us at Investor Consulting Firm on Instagram, and you can reach us on the web at investorconsultingfirm.com. This is Mr. Roshaun Bowens, an amazing athlete, educator, clinician, and I'm gonna give you the final word just to what is one thing you want people to know walking away from this conversation?
So the main thing is that take care of your mental health, people. Tend to it, There are all kind of therapeutic ways to have good mental health, but do not shy away from seeking out professional support if needed. And then two, I just want to give you a shout out, Tanisha, because I'm gonna give you some flowers because when me and Tanisha, I think if we didn't start on the same day, we
The
started
exact
like
same day. The exact
okay, the
same
same
day.
day. We started on the same day, and you would think it'll be easy to just have okay, you black, I'm black, we automatically cool. And that's kind of what it was, but not really. It really wasn't until I saw Tanisha being her authentic self in a space that will be real easy to code switch, you know. And I really learned, and she helped develop me a lot in being my authentic self in a professional manner that doesn't cause me inner turmoil, like I'm being fake, you know what I'm saying? And I just want to give you your shout out for that because now I get a lot of love for being, as I'm sure you do too, for being your authentic self. Like that's like a real thing. And in my mind, when people always give me kudos about being my authentic self, I'm like, it ain't no other way to be. But however, some people, because they don't know how to be their authentic self in a way that doesn't cause them harm, or if it do cause you harm, it is what it is, right? But I'm not out here being ratchet, if you will. But I'm definitely still going to stand on my morals and values, and just seeing you do that in the space, uplifted me and encouraged me to do the same, man. So you just never know who watching. You never know how you motivating people in
Mm,
all kind of ways. And I've seen it with my own eyes. So I just wanted to give you a shout out for that, amongst other things.
thank you.
And yeah, man, thanks for everybody who joined in. You can find me at B3 Psychology. Let me double check, y'all. I'm still growing in my entrepreneurship, okay? I ain't got my little spill down pack like that, okay? But I'm pretty sure it's B3 yeah, it's B3Psychology.life. So that's on everything: Facebook, Instagram, and the website, B3Psychology.life.
Thank you so much for that, bro. I really appreciate you. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in. It has been a pure pleasure just having this conversation with you. Thank y'all for the questions and the roses. I absolutely appreciate it. And I love y'all all to pieces. Um, Thank you again, bro. And everybody have a really great night. Hope to see y'all here next Tuesday afternoon at noon and in the month of March, celebrating Women History and Social Work Appreciation Month. Have a good night, everybody.
Peace.